Hey guys, I have another review for you. This time it's of The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. I'm really bad at pronunciation. You'll learn over the course of these videos that I am just bad at pronouncing anything, really. It's really difficult. How do people pronounce things? I don't know. So The Book Thief has been sitting at the top of my Goodreads to read pile as one of the highest rated books as voted by Goodreads voters. I mean, I'm a pretty scientifically minded person, so when a book has an average of 4.35 over 338,418 ratings, part of my mind is usually thinking, well, this is going to be absolutely amazing. But the other part, the cynical part, is thinking, Louisa, you read the blurb of this book, right? And I'm like, yeah, it was pretty cool, it sounded great. And you're thinking, well, yeah, it sounds great, but it's on a really sensitive topic. It's set in World War II, you know that, don't you? And I'm like, yeah, it's set in World War II, that's cool, right? It should be good. And it's going, yeah, but I don't know, it might, maybe people should be voting for it because it's on a sensitive issue. I mean, my brain does this to me. I'm just fundamentally cynical, I guess. I don't want to think that people will rate books higher just because they're about something sensitive like cancer or a world war, but my brain just can't help but go there. However, these worries were completely alleviated within the first 2 pages of The Book Thief. And I'm going to explain why. On the surface, this book is a really simple idea. I mean, it's just a simple snippet of a girl growing up in Nazi Germany. It's executed in a way that's so brilliant that it reminds you that the simplest of ideas can be the most effective. That were in those first 2 pages of the book that made me realise that it was going to be something I would love. The first one was that it was written from the point of view of death. Number 2 is that it has a fantastic style that I was pleased to find was carried through the book. By style, I mean that there were little bold sections throughout the whole book that were set in the centre. They were just great. I love books when they have a great something, where the words themselves are arranged in an interesting way and they're not just read from left to right. I mean, I know you have to read from left to right and it would be distracting to have things that were all over the place, but when you have a nice little pattern going throughout the book, I like that. Another such pattern that the book had was the fact that it was split into sections, and at the beginning of each section it told you all of the chapter names, and the chapter names were descriptive of what was going to happen in each section. So it piqued your curiosity and it made you want to know what happened within each section, and then you kept reading. And then you forgot to do things, like do your washing and eat and stuff. It's a bit of a problem. So I really enjoyed the style of this book. So many books these days are focused on the stories themselves that they forget that we actually have to read the book, and the words themselves are important, and you can put thought into those books. You can put thought into those words and make it more interesting. And this happened in this book. Incidentally, the last book I found this to happen was The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. And for any of you new people to YouTube, you should go over to the Vlog Brothers channel, which is John Green's channel, which he shares with his brother Hank Green, and you should check that out because it's really, really good, okay? It's really good. So anyway, back to The Book Thief. I thought it was paced really well. I think that it would be difficult for any book of this length that's set over the course of a girl's entire childhood. It would be difficult for her character not to develop, but I was really pleased that the other characters were so well developed as well. And you were really invested in the characters and the story, and that's exactly what makes it so upsetting, because it's about World War and you know that it's going to be, some tears and stuff that's going to happen throughout the book. So, that's not a spoiler. You should expect this. You're reading a book about World War II. There's going to be sadness. So World War II is something that's really difficult to capture from the point of view of a little girl, because you want to capture the little girl's naivety and you want to capture how little these children knew about what was happening in their own country. But at the same time, you want to know what's going on, and in the wider sense, you want to have a feel for this. And that's why Death worked so well, was the fact that he was able to capture the entirety of the war in a way that was really likeable. His voice was great. But the little girl was able to capture her story and her smidge of time very well, and the combination was really good. So that, overall, was why I came to the decision of giving it a 5 stars, solid 5 stars, because I really enjoyed it and I can see why everybody else did. So don't be put off or cynical like I am by the fact that something has such good ratings as when they're about something sensitive like this, because in this case, it worked out. It was great. I'll catch you next time.